Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to dive into a really interesting and often debated topic. Should Christians keep the Sabbath, which is Saturday, as the day of worship? Some groups, like the Seventh-day Adventists, strongly believe we should. But what does the Bible actually say about this? Let's take a closer look together. The key to understanding this is realizing who the Sabbath was originally for. Many people who worship on Saturday miss a crucial point. The Sabbath was given by God specifically to the nation of Israel. It was never intended for Christians in the same way. Think of it as a special sign. In Exodus chapter 31, God speaks to Moses and says, "Speak also to the children of Israel, saying, Surely my Sabbaths you shall keep, for it is a sign between me and you throughout your generations." A sign between God and Israel. So when did this all start? The Sabbath was first officially given as a law to Israel at Mount Sinai. It's right there as the fourth of the 10 Commandments in Exodus chapter 20. Even before that, when the Israelites were in the desert and God provided manna from heaven, He told them to gather a double portion on the 6th day. Why? Because there would be no manna on the 7th day. This was in preparation for the Sabbath law He was about to give them. Hundreds of years later, Nehemiah confirms this timing. In Nehemiah chapter 9 he says, "You came down also on Mount Sinai, and spoke with them from heaven, and gave them just ordinances and true laws, good statutes and commandments. You made known to them your holy Sabbath." Notice the wording, made known to them. This suggests it was a new revelation for the people of Israel at that time. Now, a common argument you'll hear is that the Sabbath was established right at creation. People point to Genesis 2 verse 3, which says, "Then God blessed the 7th day and sanctified it, because in it He rested from all His work which God had created and made." And yes, it's absolutely true that God rested on the 7th day and set it apart, or sanctified it. But the big question is, when did God reveal this sanctification to humanity as a command? If God had commanded the Sabbath right from the time of creation, you would expect to see people like Adam, Noah, Abraham, Isaac, or Jacob observing it. But if you search the scriptures, you won't find a single instance of them keeping the Sabbath. Why? Because the Sabbath was a specific sign for a specific people, Israel. It wasn't a sign for the patriarchs, it wasn't a sign for other nations, and it's not a sign for Christians today. Exodus 31:13 is crystal clear. It's a sign between God and Israel. So when God sanctified the 7th day, He did so at Mount Sinai by giving the law to Moses. When Moses wrote the book of Genesis, many years after the creation event itself, he was simply explaining why God chose the 7th day for the Sabbath. The reason was because He had rested on that day after His work of creation was complete. It provides the background and the reason, but the command itself came much later, specifically to the nation of Israel as part of their covenant with God. Understanding this context is so important. It helps clarify why Christians today worship on Sunday, the first day of the week, in celebration of Christ's resurrection, which happened on that day. The Old Covenant and its signs have been fulfilled in Jesus. I hope this has been helpful and given you some things to think about. If you found this video insightful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more content like this. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.